For many couples in midlife, changes in health and lifestyle can affect connection and closeness. Our next guest, a leading wellness expert, shares thoughtful ways to help partners reconnect and bring renewed energy to their relationships. Here to share more about what she calls the bedroom gap is gynecologist and women's health advocate. We have Dr. Maria Sophocles. Good to have you on the show today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Desiree. Great to be here today.
Yes. Okay. So you talk about the bedroom gap. Can you explain what that is and what those early signs might be for those who are experiencing it?
Sure. The bedroom gap is a term that relates to the difference in sexual expectations and abilities between couples. These can be same sex, these can be male, female, it can happen at any age, but we find that in midlife around perimenopause and menopause, it seems to widen. It seems to be more of an issue. And this is because couples get increasingly busy with their jobs, with aging parents, with growing kids, sometimes money problems, sometimes self esteem as their bodies change, sometimes menopause related changes such as dryness or loss of libido, and sometimes erectile problems. So when you put all that into a pot and stir it up, you can get a real problem with intimacy. And we're not prepared. We don't really get taught how to communicate with each other about these things. We often feel broken and we don't know what to do or where to go.
And Dr. Sophocles, how much of the bedroom gap comes from maybe unspoken issues, especially around physical changes? And how can a woman start an open, comfortable conversation with her doctor if maybe she's noticing discomfort that's affecting her intimacy or confidence?
Right. So, unfortunately, very few doctors have training in menopause, and even fewer doctors have training in sexual issues. So, my advice is go with some questions ahead of time. Try preemptively to seek out a clinician who has training in sex, like a sex therapist or a gynecologist. But many gynecologists are not trained in this. If you feel your doctor or nurse practitioner or PA is not listening or doesn't have good answers, go to someone else. It's really important to feel heard. But you can open by just saying, look, I think I'm having issues. Sex is painful, or there's dryness, or I have low libido. Can you help me? And if not, can you suggest who I can go to for this? Because so many don't have training. So there's talking to a clinician and then there's talking to a partner. And both are really challenging for women, especially because they feel shame about it.
And what would you say is the most important first step for a couple to start bridging the gap and moving from frustration back to being a team again?
I think the first most important step is communication, and taking that first step towards a talk. I tell couples, do it on a walk. You're looking forward. No one can judge eye rolls or shrug shoulders. You can take a deep breath and you can just say, look, I really love how we are together, and I've loved how we had so much fun on that trip last year, but it's gotten very painful for me, or I don't find the interest that I used to, and I'm going to work on it, but I'd love to work on it together. I'd love to hear how sex is for you. Is it what you want, or how do you think we could make things better? Elicit instead of blame. You never want to approach this with a finger pointing mentality. Always open ended questions. Start with a compliment if you can. I notice, I think you look great since you've lost weight, or I love when you wore that sweater, or I really meant something to me that you came up and gave me a back rub while I was doing the dishes, whatever it is,
Yeah.
and start from there and build on that. Sometimes you have to start with appreciations or even just G rated touching, holding hands again, having a little 30-minute cuddle date once a week. That doesn't necessarily mean let's have sex, but just rebuild it from something very basic. You don't want to just say, okay, let's have sex. I mean, you're just going to continue the problem.
Dr. Sophocles, all helpful tips for our viewers to take home. I appreciate your time. I'm going to let our viewers know where they can go for more information. You can get your copy of The Bedroom Gap wherever books are sold, and you can find out more by heading to mariasophoclesmd.com.